What's up, everyone? It's Teddy, aka JamesKisau and MTGO, coming back for another week of Grixis Control here on the channel. A couple updates for the channel. As I may have mentioned before, we are working towards 2,000 subs, the big 2K, at which point we will invest in an intro for the channel, so you can have a little something at the beginning to really get you in the mood for some Grixis Control matches. And also, I thought maybe I'd debut a little slogan here just to kind of get more branding on point. Big shout out to Galactic Hitchhiker, Tom, one of my big supporters. Thank you so much for this little mock-up here. The deck is black to get the job done, blue to make sure it's done right, and red to get it done faster. Grixis Control. Let me know if that is a good slogan. I think it's pretty cool. Just kind of came up on the Discord randomly, and people were like, that's actually pretty sick. And yeah, we'll see if it sticks. I like it a lot. Anyways, people are talking about bans again. On the 30th, there will be a BNR update. I don't know what they're going to do. I never really try and speculate. I just take the information that happens after the ban and kind of go from there, since we're a deck that is designed to attack other decks and give ourselves the best spread in the matchups. People have been talking about Oops All Spells, Reanimator is still incredibly dominant. Who really knows what's going to happen, if anything at all? So we'll just keep on reacting to what's currently in the meta right now. And to that end, I'm bringing a couple cards back, one from ancient history and one from the more recent times. I'll talk about the more recent times first with Murktide Regent. This is a very powerful card that can be cast for not a lot of mana. At its floor, you can just pay blue for a gigantic creature, pitches to Force of Will, has flying. All these things are very good. And there's a little bit of synergy built in as well. Snapcaster Mage can potentially make it even bigger. Cling to Dust can really supercharge it if you're escaping Cling to Dust by exiling 5 instants or sorceries from your graveyard. That's +5/+5 on Murktide Regent. I've done it before. I think on the Patreon during one of the challenges, there was a really cool line where I used Snapcaster Mage to cast like a lightning bolt into a Chalice of the Void or something to make my Murktide too big to get destroyed by like Fury or something. A lot of cool utility with the graveyard and Murktide Regent. And then the card from ancient history that I'm bringing back is Tyrant Scorn. This card came out in War of the Spark, blue and a black, has 2 modes. You know, I love modality in Grixis Control. You can destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. So that's everything from Barragoyf to, I don't know, Stoneforge Mystic. It misses quite a few relevant cards in the meta these days, but not that many. And for the ones it does miss, the second mode is return target creature to its owner's hand. I found myself wanting another bounce effect like Brazen Borrower, while not actually being Brazen Borrower, having a little more flexibility than that, since the new Sprouts version of lands with Malevolent Rumble has made Sheoldred's Edict not very reliable for protecting you from Merit Lage. So I want something that was a little more targeted. Between the Urza's Saga construct tokens and the Eldrazi spawn, it's very difficult to successfully edict the Merit Lage, and I'm pretty sure that deck is running definitely 4 Thespian Stage, but also I think 4 Dark Depths and Lava Spur Boots. It's pretty normal for that deck to be attacking with Merit Lage on turn 2 or 3 at the latest, it feels like. So yeah, I'm going to try out Tyrant Scorn. I wanted something like this. Another card you can look at if you're looking for this role, but you want it to be a little more flexible, is Anoint with Affliction. I know Patreon subscriber Leo, who plays Yori on Grixis Control, is a big fan of that card. I wanted something that could pitch to Force of Will, so I'm going with Tyrant Scorn. And yeah, we'll see how it does. The rest of the list is pretty stock. I am fully off Mistrise Village right now, even though I recognize it's completely valid pick. I'm back on Lorien Revealed, but between Lorien Revealed, Mistrise Village, Waterlogged Teachings, I think all those slots are very good for different reasons, but I am playing Lorien Revealed for this league. It's felt really good recently. And I think that's about it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as we move towards that 2K. Check out the Patreon if you want to submit a donation league. If you're interested in coaching, I think there's a couple slots now open at the highest tier. And the lowest tier on Patreon gets you an additional league of content every week. So if you like the content and want to support me, it's only $2. pretty good deal for all that content. The entire backlog is there as well, so if you want to just check it out, watch as much content as you want, and then leave, that's totally fine. There's no obligation to me. I'm just making this content to help educate and to help bring Legacy to a wider audience. So yeah, let's jump in, see how we do. Last week before a potential ban. Round 1, hand looks fine. Might have a little issue developing mana. Opponent's playing Eldrazi, potentially. Deck that you don't see too often anymore since Sowing Mycospawn has been banned. And yeah, it looks like they're playing Chalice. I imagine Wasteland as well. Those are 3 really strange cards to see in Exile. Like, they're all pretty good. The land is nice. They must already have a Chalice. Like, they played Eldrazi Temple. They didn't play anything else. I think I'd probably force Thought-Knot Seer. No Chalice. Yeah, let's Surveil here. Maybe this is like Kozilek's Command. Take that. That's a pretty good one, considering it's pretty difficult to interact with certain elements of the Eldrazi plan. I think playing out a Strix, I think we can be a little more patient. It's pretty easy for them to just have that be collateral with a Devourer trigger. I'm gonna Brainstorm here. There's a Kaito on the horizon. But what if I got Wastelanded? I think I can put back Underground Sea and possibly Lightning Bolt. It's a little greedy to put back 2 lands, but I also feel like lands are pretty likely to be drawn. If I put back Bolt, it's a good way to hedge, not just lose equity thanks to Chalice of the Void, because I don't want to force a Chalice from this point. If they haven't played an Eldrazi yet, either they don't have red mana, which I find weird because they exiled Cavern of Souls. Like, if they have Linebreaker in their hand, why wouldn't they have gotten that? Or Fleshraker, they could have cast that last turn. I think I need to hold the Bolt. Keep all the action. But yeah, that was, I might lose because of that, but I also might lose because I can't Bolt. It's also possible that they do have a Chalice and they didn't want to get dazed, but me and Buin have fought so many times, it's kind of hard to imagine that they think I have daze. I'm going to give my opponent credit here. You don't often have a lot of chances to force in this matchup, but I'm not going to fight over that. And yeah, it's clear that they don't think I have daze, or that they would have been fine with just getting dazed. It's kind of hard to say, but I'm hoping they just slam Devourer here. Alright, it is Chalice. I guess I'll Bolt them or Spawn. That's tricky. Sure, I'll Bolt a Spawn. Petal. There's the Linebreaker that I would have loved to Bolt. Why not Force? Send it back. I think it's somewhat likely they just slam Devourer here. Get to work. I'd probably Nimble a Wasteland. Then just slam Kaito. Tap down the Devourer. You can certainly see how, like, that line was backwards and they sequenced really well. Because, like, if I just force the Chalice and then Bolt Linebreaker, same outcome. They don't have a Chalice. And my top decks are potentially way better. So, bravo. Bravo to the opponent. Not doing anything. It's, like, pretty not good to get Kaito in here. They're going to deny me an army. That's fine. Oh, do they have another Kozilek's Command? Probably make spawns and exile my creature. Oh, they are going to draw. So I do get an army. 2 top, 3 bottom. Well, that's not good. feel like it's possible I'll be able to hardcast that. Let's see what they put on top. Ooh, Ayavugan, Fleshraker, an additional Chalice of the Void. That's fine. Wastecape Battle Mage. So their last card is Devour. If I top deck Kolaghan's Command, I can snipe it out of their hand. I'm gonna cast this. Yeah, I think I'll just hardcast Lorien Revealed here. Then I'll see if I want to attack or not. They'll probably exile my Obstructionist anyways. See, I've got some work to do. Oh, Thought-Knot Seer. I'm being overpowered. Let's go to the next game here. Could not keep up with their top decks. And by top decks, I mean cards they scryed with Kozilek's Command. Alright, Consigned Memory, Fatal Push, Price of Progress, Opposition Agent. Has a little less to do now that Sowing Mycospawn's been banned. But just fine as a flash threat. Tyrant Scorn, I think that one can go. Not for this matchup. Cling to Dust. Narset's in a weird spot, because these decks will often employ the One Ring, or even Null Drifter. Don't like Thoughtseize. Not only is your life total kind of precious, but as you saw, they play Chalice of the Void. Make no mistake, like even without Sowing Mycospawn, they still have better creatures, more mana, and better card selection than us. But at the very least, we can develop our own resources. Meltdown is not good. From the Catacombs, though, I think I'd like to try and leverage that. You can also trim Ponder and a Bolt. One more cut. Murktide is very hard to hit with Kozilek's Command, but Baragorf is not. But on the play, I think I'll keep it. Let's cut Narset. Sure. Sand is not bad. But we might want to move some things around with Brainstorm. I mean, luckily we do have 2 shuffle effects though, so I think I'll still lead on Bloodstained Mire. Just in case they like go turn 1 like Temple, Petal, Thought-Knot Seer, and I can push it in response. Or just like Fatal Pushing that is totally fine as well. Unfortunately, Underground Sea is in my hand, which is super frustrating. That's a fine play. Not the worst draw. Cavernous Souls, Chalice of the Void. We're hoping they play something like Fleshraker or another It that heralds the end, or like Wastecape Battle Mage or something. Alright. Yeah, we want to try to avoid a second Chalice. But I think it would have to come off the top of the deck. I don't think they would have kept a 5 with 2 Chalices. That's their play next turn, like, things get pretty interesting. It's Thought-Knot Seer. Alright, so yeah, I guess I'll just have them discard. Blue, black, red. Dropping a Wasteland. Actually kind of curious what they'll take. Yeah, they just take the unique card, that makes sense. But I got Strix in the way. Cast Brainstorm here. From the Catacombs is nice. They'll probably Wasteland me. Yeah, maybe from the Catacombs is actually for later. Shuffle. These moments that I actually kind of wish I had Infernal Reckoning still in the list. I think we'll hide Snapcaster Mage on top. Because if they play another Chalice of the Void, Snap Kolaghan's Command is quite good. There it is. They don't attack. You can get their hand empty. I could have cast from the Catacombs, it turns out, because they didn't Wasteland me. So what's in their hand? Maybe like Kozilek's Command? which they can do in response. They'll draw a card, then they'll just discard it. Sure. Okay, they're just gonna scoop it up. I didn't really feel like I was in any position to win. Like, I feel like they could have just top decked another Thought-Knot Seer or something. But I'll take it. On the draw, the 1-drops become even less realistic. But I don't think I'm going to bring in Meltdown as a way to address Chalice of the Void. It just seems very slim. Like, what other artifacts am I really going to be actively trying to remove? I don't think they're going to play a Lotus Petal without intention for using it. They don't play Chrome Mox. Maybe they have a Disruptor Flute in their sideboard, but they're not going to bring it in against this deck with a million one-ofs. I don't think it gets better than this. Got an opponent on 7. Oh, mulligan. Yeah, this is not bad. Bottom, ponder. If I hit like land or Kaito off the top, land and Kaito rather, I can be pretty selective in what I fight over. Wasteland. Wasteland go. Well, I'm all set. I'm all set to not fight over a Chalice. Resolves. I guess if there's an annoying cast trigger next turn, that's one thing. But the Replicate can fight through that to at least address the creature part. Alright, hitting these lands. Yeah, I guess I'll just make this my swamp now and like bank a shuffle effect. That's fine. Not an exciting draw though. And if they do nothing, then I can just deploy Bowmasters. That's pretty strong. Yeah, I'll counter that. Same targets. That's gone. Force of Will. Well, I hope they don't have Chalice. I mean, Cavern. Chalice of Souls. Cavern of the Void. These are the cards that scare me. Fortunately, they don't exist. I need to extract more value out of this situation, though. Like, yeah, taking out a Fleshraker is important. We escape Battle Mage. Well, before they get priority again, let's take this out. Nice. Whew. I feel like just a 5/5 Murktide protected by Force of Will will probably get over the line. At the very least, there has to be some things that stops. Oh, crap. Alright, they're F6'd. Oh, they on F6'd. They got me. But also taking them off this mana is important. Lorien revealed. That means I can ponder. Go like that. Edict you. And bluff. Consign. We'll force that. That damage is pretty important. Ooh, another Battle Mage. Well, now Kaito is not amazing, but I guess I'll just tap this down. Or I could draw. Yeah, I'll draw. Hit for 5. Play Kaito. And draw. I think Bolt is pretty risky here. If they play Chalice, though, like, I don't think they're in good shape. So yeah, I'll take the Bolt. Yeah, if they play Chalice, they likely lose. Alright, we got there. Got severely Eldrazi'd in game 1, which is pretty normal because, as I like to say about the matchup, their creatures are better, they have more mana than us, and their card selection is better because Kozilek's Command. And I have Ugin and all that stuff. Highly consistent, aggressive deck. So whenever we get over the line against them, it's really nice. Definitely got aided by our opponent's mulligan to 5 in game 2, but Grixis Control's ability to beat Chalice on 1, I think, continues to set it apart from other blue decks. And yeah, I love it. Alright, I am back from practice. I think I got one more in me tonight. Opponent's taking a mulligan. I think this hand is fine. Can play on basics. Force of Will, usually quite good in game 1, I will say. Tamiyo is quite proactive. What is my opponent doing, though? Ancient Tomb. Blood Moon. Blood Moon, Blood Moon, Blood Moon. If I force this, I can have black mana. But what if I don't need black mana? God, I think people will get pretty mad at me if I don't force this. It's quite obvious. It'd be even more obvious if this was a swamp and not an island because I have Lorien revealed. I don't know. I'm gonna draw half my deck and then my black cards will be on. It's just the upsides are so high because this takes them down a mana too. I don't know. Call me crazy, but this just feels like I can't pass it up. And like I'd way rather force that. Now they have 1 card in hand, 2 mana. I'll start making clues. Not drawing well. Play that out. We're playing against Red Prison, by the way. I didn't mention that. Oh crap, they have 3 again. The Freak. That is quite good. Black card. Black card. Starting to look like a fool out here. Alright, cast. Crack Clue first, I think. Yes. Force of Will is nice. Shuffle. Beautiful. I wonder if I'm gonna miss my Clue Factory, though. I kinda am. I think that will be good. If I can fade 1 more turn, have Force of Will to get Ultimate across the line, that will be very good. We'll force. And they pack it up. A little premature if you ask me. Can't they just top deck another Pyroglyph? I showed some black mana, right? Did I play Badlands on the final turn? Or did I do the right thing and play my fetch land? No, I played a Badlands. Whoops. That was silly of me. We'll play Consign. Fatal Push. Despite them being a Chalice of the Void deck, the upsides are quite relevant. On the draw, though, Thoughtseize and Cling to Dust are untenable choices. And then Narset's interesting, because, like, they're a big one-ring deck now. It has some text versus Fable the Mirror Breaker, but the 2 blue is not something you want to show up in your hand super often. Murktide, though, like, that is a good card for the matchup. Narset is a little narrow. But what else am I really doing? I kind of like Price of Progress. They really use their life total now. And a lot of their lands are non-basic. So do that, and then could trim another 1-drop. Kaito is a fine thing to side out. In the RCQ, I sided in a Meltdown, which felt really weird, because Meltdown does not beat anything that deals damage from them. You'd just like clear out Chalice and stuff like that, which we're already trying to mostly invalidate. I think it should be Tyrant Scorn. Alright, what do we think of this hand? I don't think it's good enough. Let's mulligan. This hand is good enough. It easily beats Blood Moon. And Consign is pretty relevant. I think I'm bottoming Snapcaster Mage. But it could also be Badlands. Nah. This is fine. I hope they didn't side their Blood Moons out. Chalice on 1. We're not super concerned with that yet. I kind of want them to play I'm going to just play this Badlands. Make them think it's good. Urza's Saga. Countering Chapter 2. Might be pretty good. They already have an artifact. Yeah, our situation is not ideal here. Gotta replicate because of the chalice. Same target. They go ahead and check. Thinking they must have a land though, right? I hope they just slam Blood Moon. Chromox. There's a Broadside Bombardiers under there. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a Blood Moon. I don't want it gone either because I don't want them to get to Chapter 3. Pretty sure I can erase this. Don't really want the chalice gone either. That's not acceptable. I don't know, maybe I do ambush this, because then Saga will expire, and they'll probably have to another card out of their hand, get a Chromox, if they want to retain the mana they have. They haven't made a land drop. Sure. Slambush. Oh, that did not sound good. Just an ambush. Now, in the past, I would block with Bowmasters, because it turns on another mode of Kolaghan's command. But now that they're like a big one ring deck, okay, they do have lands. Yeah, they're a big one ring deck, so we just won't do that. Pretty rough. I've drawn too many lands. I'm not super confident here, especially if they have a value thing to get. They didn't float mana. Does that mean they don't have anything? Soul Guide Lantern. Sure, I'll punish. Maybe this was a... No, this is not a bad idea. Fury would cost them pretty much their whole hand, and God damn it. Well, it did cost them their whole hand, but not in the way I thought it would. Probably go 3-1 here. But hopefully they just go 4, thinking I have another Bowmasters in hand. Oh, that's fascinating. Alright, a lot of good draws. That would have been good a second ago. Might still buy me some time, we'll see. I can also turn on a 1-drop. But I gotta remember to hold priority. Yeah, I'll take 6. I can even take 6 again before Price of Progress is completely off. Let's get to going. Curious what's in their hand. It must be just a land. They don't want to lose their Stygia traders. Having a 3/3 is just gigantic in this matchup. Ponder. Is it worth using my consign to push this ponder through? It likely is not. We'll wait until I'm in some real trouble. If I draw like Bolt though, it would be worth it. Pushing like 2 of them across would be nice. Never mind. I don't have consign to memory anymore. Because I have to counter this 1 ring. Although it's lightweight, debatable. I'm at 13. Well, I don't know actually. They have some really scary creatures. And they're not going to block, so they might as well attack. Force of Will. Such a good draw. Oh me, oh my. There will be no fight over a Blood Moon. There might not even be a fight over Magus, the more I think about it. Shatterskull smashing? Yeah, we will force that. I didn't think they'd have enough mana to do this, but I see that they have just enough. They're still attacking. I do really respect that, but going to 1 turns a lot off in their deck. Like if they draw a 1 ring, it's a fog. Now we're going to stare at each other. Oh. Petty Theft through Chalice. Bolt. Very nice. Alright. Doing alright so far. Although that matchup has always been very good, provided they don't steamroll you. Welcome back to the league. It is the following day. And I have not played against Mood and Madness in a long time, but if memory serves, they prefer artifact wheel kind of decks, blue decks. Bowmasters and Force of Will should be nice. Reanimate, I'm not sure if it's going to be very relevant for this matchup, but it's not worth mulliganing this hand just because of that. At the very least, there's usually a spot where I can reanimate Orcish Bowmasters or something like that, so I'm going to lead on Scalding Tarn here, just in case it becomes necessary to grab a basic swamp for whatever reason, but I'm not going to do that in the blind. I'd rather surveil if nothing really becomes evident. Opponent kept 7, so I'm grateful that I was able to as well. Once Upon a Time usually shows up in very fast decks these days. Well, looks like I'm going to get to test my Tyrant Scorn, and I do want to get a basic swamp now. Yavimaya, Mox Diamond, they are coming out fast here. I think I will let this resolve, yeah? And then try and shoot the spawn token? Or is it best to just counter this? You know what? I think I should counter this. I'm trying new things because my past attempts to take this deck down have not worked very well. And I always used to let the Rumble resolve. That was a really good draw. Damn. But then again, if they can like crop rotation, they have a life from the loam. That's not good. It's cool to see the Lava Spur boots in the mix there and the Sajiri step. A lot of things kind of getting in the way of what they want to do here. Yep, they're the boots. Really gearing up for something nasty. They seem like weirdly F6'd. I don't think they're going to let me shoot this spawn, but we'll try. Brainstorm. Well, can't do that. Got that life from the loam. It's not good. It's not good that that's there. At least they don't have exploration, but this will not be easy. Now they took a natural draw. Mox Diamond, spinning at depths, they have a stage. It's pretty natural to go for it here. And then I will have to find Cling to Dust with this Brainstorm. I'm going to let them pay first. Maybe I'll let them go to combat, because I can pay for the ward. I'm not doing anything else right now. With the Sajiri step in the graveyard, I'm not concerned about a crop rotation. They don't run more than one of those, unless this is like an even more turbo version. And this could have just been... Oh, do they have multiple steps? Oh, they have Echoing Deeps. That's just as good. Alright, yeah. This deck is tough to beat. And now it does feel pretty silly that I used Force of Will on Malevolent Rumble, but what can you do? So Edict would have been better there. Got Reanimate. Damn, this deck is so good. Surgical Extraction. I don't think the sideboarding changes all that much, though, compared to the old version. You just have to be prepared for what they're doing so much faster. Lightning Bolt. Not as relevant. Can trim a Bowmasters, but it's a lot more relevant than it used to be. They really just charged ahead on that one. And they have Maze of Ith. Sure, I don't mind cutting the big creatures. Try it again. This has got to do it, right? Not necessarily. Gotta care about Wasteland as well. So I should look for, what, basic Swamp? Shuffle. Good. I would have been sad if that didn't work out. Yeah, we forced that. I guess the one good side of all this is that they'll definitely have a target for Thoughtseize, because this deck runs many spells. If I can really jack up their hand with Surgical, that'd be cool. But I don't think that'll be possible. Well, I guess I kind of can. It's just not very good, but it's like their version of Velocity. Maybe they'll draw another one. That'd be nice. The Bojuka Bog's in their hand. So even if they top deck like crop rotation, they can't bog themselves. They drew Tabernacle, I think. Alright, no more Malevolent Rumbles in the picture. No Endurance. That is good. I like that they don't have Endurance. So yeah, if I can just extract Dark Depths and Saga, they won't be able to win. They have Sphere of Resistance. That's cool. Alright, carry on. Jukabog, me. Play the land. It's not so bad. Stage. Try and find a quick clock here. Sure, I'll take Brainstorm. Cast it. I like Opposition Agent quite a bit. And then I have my 2 bounce effects here. I suppose, what, Edict is going to be more helpful. I don't think they'll get Constructs next turn. And we know they won't have their little ones, their spawns. And we just gotta clock them out from here. Stage copies Forest. Wow. They're not making this easy. Would have been nice to take a little bit of time and get my Opposition Agent in place, but they're not going to let me. And they're not going for it at all. Tabernacle, sure. Agent is better than both of these. Kind of just paid 2 to, I guess, deal 2 damage, which I would have done anyways, so yeah, I'll pay. No, I won't. And I won't pay for that either. Draw Scorn. Smash for 3. It's nice having both of these in hand so I can pick which one is more Mazavith too. God damn, man. Usually they have to like dredge to find these silver bullets. It's a lot easier to find your silver bullet lands when you're like using crop rotation to find them, or like looking at 3 cards per turn. Caracas. I'm getting close to the point where I just want to draw with Spellbomb, because I have a Besaju anyways. Like, it wouldn't be crazy for them to get some loam magic going anyways. I like the land here. I need to make a lot of land drops. Just kind of overpower them. Meltdown. Might be good someday. They're not showing me any artifacts though. And they are starting to melt their Dark Depths. Man, we could have had them at 8 right now. They didn't rip that Mazavith. Mox Diamond, sure. I think they found a loam. And makes me look very silly for activating the Spellbomb when I did. Now they're going to make Merit Lage. I don't think I can afford to force this, right? Alright, do that. No surprise there. Yeah, I'll pay. Yeah, whatever. If you have Lava Spur Boots in your hand, I dare you to do it. This also turns on their search effects for a turn, maybe more. But I don't care. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. Although it would be pretty bad if it got even worse, you know? I think this is right. Caracas and Mazavith handled. Yeah, I'll take the blue card. So I need to force Lava Spur Boots. If they happen to rip, they better not. And they're debating whether or not to dredge here. They do. They had another loam, so now I'm looking for specifically surgical extraction. Alright, let's attack. They're probably debating whether or not they should make a Merit Lage, but they did not, because they're probably seeing that there's like maybe some like sorcery speed stuff I could do. Okay, consign to memory. I think I'll bin both of those. Really looking for Snapcaster or Surgical. Kolaghan's Command. Let's Brainstorm. Shieldred's Edict. Well, maybe with Kolaghan's Command I can just buy enough time Got to cross the line, which means, am I just shuffling my agent? Probably not. I can put a card on top, which I guess would be what? Kolaghan's Command. Merit again. Edict again. They already have a loam in hand, so they probably don't want to scooping it up. Cool. It's a lot different when they don't have exploration. Because exploration, they're making Merit every turn with a loam, and that's just out of control. Also, Price of Progress would have done the trick there. They had enough non-basics out. I don't really think I side any differently for game 3, right? Tyrant Scorn was great there. Could have pitched a Force. Could have bounced Merit. Extracting Malevolent Rumble turned out to be somewhat effective as well. The best target for Surgical is always Life from the Loam. Then after that, I guess, Urza Saga, and then Thespian Stage or Dark Depths. It used to be Saga was a pretty high priority target for that, but that back then they were only running like 1 or 2 Dark Depths as like crop rotation silver bullets when you saw a window for your 2020. But now it's like a turn 3 Merit is quite normal for this deck. Is there any reason to have this Thought Season here? Maybe they'll play Choke on the play though? Sphere of Resistance? Sphere but no Ancient Tomb. I guess Mox Diamond is what is facilitating that on turn 1. Alright, I'll cut that and bring back... Got some decent options here, but yeah, the Maze of Ith is just so readily available. Part of me thinks it should be from the Catacombs so we can go over the top of them, but I feel like I rarely ever have enough mana, and I'm always holding up 2, since Hasty Merit is something that they seem to be able to generate quite easily. I think it's Murktide. When in doubt, just pick the blue card. Opponent keeping 7. Well, I got the Edict and I have Force of Will, and Kaito is like my endgame threat I'll also keep. But there are some issues here. Not to mention Kolaghan's Command is quite nice. Man, Sphere used to be so whatever. But now that they're like threatening real stuff real fast. Oh man, Wasteland. There's the Sphere, I need to counter it. Not nice. Let's get some mana underneath us. Okay. I need that mountain. Let's go like that. Yeah, I mean, I guess blowing up both constructs, it's like not a terrible plan. Well, Depths doesn't make mana, but there's going to be some like things we'll need to be aware of here. Like if end step they make a construct and then float mana, it's just highly suspicious. We'll probably have to Kolaghan's Command destroy Lava Spur Boots or something like that. Something insane. But we're really going to try and like move towards total engine collapse here. If I had a little more free interaction, it'd be nice. Sketch. I feel like in the past they've had the mana to pull this off, but I'm personally not seeing it. I think they'd have to like crop rotate this Saga away right now. Have like a Yavimaya. Just like something would have to be here, you know? Exploration. Just like something, you know? Maze of Ith. It's a lot of lands that don't make mana. I feel like if I have Meltdown, they will have a hard time playing the game. Kolaghan's Command as well. Probably pretty good. Big difference between that and 0 mana though. Or like 1 and 2 rather. Really wish there was some graveyard hate here. It almost feels likely that one of their last cards is crop rotation. Yeah, let's invest. That should freak them out. The time to act was yesterday. I knew it. Do they just get another Saga? Makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. It's pretty rough. Cast Brainstorm. Agent is not bad. I feel like I need Force of Will though, because like if they just top deck the boots, I guess it'll be kind of telegraphed though, right? And I don't want to give up my shot at a Pithing Needle here. That'd be massive. Alright. It's going to be a little bit of a wild swing. There are no lands in that graveyard. Damn! Damn! Oh god, I hope this works. I want a Caracas, I want a Pithing Needle, maybe a Wasteland, maybe a Bajuka Bog. There's a Pithing Needle. Yes! Alright, yeah, I should just take a Wasteland, right? What if I took Thespian Stage and made my own Merit Lage? They have Maze of Ith. Yeah, I think Wasteland is best here. Make it just Wasteland the Caracas. What about Bajuka Bog, though? Nah, I don't care about that, because I'm just going to take Pithing Needle and put it on Saga. Construct. Now they'll probably want to Wasteland me in retaliation. Alright, so sit that in play. Play Needle. Name Urza's Saga. And then Kolaghan's Command. Destroy your Mox Diamond and deal 2 to that construct. And now we chill for a moment. You drew a sphere. Let's just take the boots out of the equation, huh? I don't think they want to play the sphere, though. They have so few mana sources. Tabernacle. That doesn't tap for mana either. Wasteland. Destroying my Badlands. Alright. Time for Kaito. They'll have a small window. Opponent says, boo! And that's good enough for them. Wow. I can't say that this is entirely proven, but it feels pretty close. Yeah, we'll say it's proven. 3-0, damn. Continuing the same trend as yesterday. Back from practice, gonna try and record a match. Keep this hand, Island Ponder, etc. Force blue card, Guide of Souls. This matchup has been giving me tons of trouble recently because they generate a lot of value. It's a tough deck to beat, especially if they're playing Sand Scout. Second Kaito, probably not what we wanted. Alright, they also play Wasteland. The whole plan will just be to go way over the top with like Orcish Bowmaster, from the Catacombs and stuff like that. I feel like I ordered that Ponder wrong. I should have taken Lightning Bolt and Ponder and looked for a red source next turn to try and address this Guide of Souls, because it is a powerful card. But I could also just play Baleful Strix here and feel somewhat okay about it. I will force a Ajani. Thalia, though. Don't think I'll force Thalia. I mean, it attacks super well. I'm not forcing anything else. Unfortunately, I do think I need a force here. But yeah, I'm not incredibly happy about it. Next turn, I'll play Strix and draw the Lightning Bolt. Hopefully not get Wastelanded. I mean, if I can just like slide Kaito in somehow via this Baleful Strix, that would be pretty wild. Not counting on that. But you never know. Well, they do have Bowmasters, though. Very effective alongside Guide of Souls. Fortunately, they don't have an additional creature here. So Guide of Souls is still within range of the Lightning Bolt. Baragoyf, that's another card that can really break things open here. No one really likes giving your opponent a Bowmaster trigger, but I don't really see another option here. Oh, this is interesting. What if I reanimate Thalia, which is kind of insane, but it holds the ground, play a big Murktide next turn? I feel like they'll probably use Horse of Plowshares. This is kind of an insane play. It's kind of an example of, this is what's in front of me. Another thing I can do is just shuffle and look for a land. But the matchup's already so bad. I think I'm going to do this, even though it's not, maybe not what you'd really want to do. Not to mention they could have Karakas. It's very likely this deck has a Karakas engine with Ajani and all that. But we'll see. Yeah, there's Ajani. We are in trouble. Guide of Souls. It's going to be very large. I mean, the following turn, we'll have that Murktide that I projected that can block that easily, but I'm just almost certain they'll have Swords to Plowshares. At least it'll cost 2, I guess. I mean, making Murktide a 3/3 is honestly just as bad, or they can get their Thalia back. It's just a complete mess. And yeah, it's not a good matchup. I was kind of hoping this kind of deck would settle down and be kept in check by the combo decks, because while it is incredibly powerful, super good against what we're doing, and certainly at like a legacy power level, of course it is, it's beating Grixis Control. I don't know if it's fast enough to hang with the turn 1 decks of the format, which is what helps keep Legacy from becoming a big modern level slugfest. But we can complain about it all we want. It's in front of us right now, and if we want this trophy, we're gonna have to beat it. So I don't really tech for it either. Can't really afford to tech for stuff like this. I mean, that's what From the Catacombs is for. It's kind of a catch-all like that. Yeah, I'll take Consign, and then we can trim on Force on the Play, 1 land. Oh, I didn't mean to bring in that Opposition Agent. Cling to Dust feels pretty necessary. They're going to generate a lot of card advantage. We need to keep up somehow. Yeah, it looks fine. Hope it's good enough. Sometimes this deck has to mulligan as well, because they're not playing cantrips. Not this time, though. Okay. Go. They don't have a play, though, so maybe they should have mulliganed. Hehe. Yeah. I'm not going to cycle this until I just start missing my lands. It's yet to happen. Okay. So far, so good. If I can top deck Kaito, we'll be curving. I'm expecting like Orcish Bowmasters here. Ampid Raptor. I have a creature out, so the odds of this hitting dead is like next to nothing. Oh man. Yeah, why not just force, right? Kaito, Kaito, Kaito. Shit. It was a bit of a long shot. Not that much of a long shot, it turns out. I couldn't play out Snapcaster Mage to ensure, like if they remove Baleful Strix, ensure my ninjutsu, since I would have had to shuffle to play a blue card. A little backwards there. Hoping they just like play Guide of Souls and pass. Got my Edict. Keep the board clear. Ooh, that's annoying. Yeah, can't do anything about that. Stuck on 2 lands. Supposing I still do this though. I mean, I could just tap down the Voice of Victory. That's actually probably pretty safe, right? That Mobilize 2 is just bonkers. Although it's not enough to beat Kaito, it's 3 damage. The 1 damage could come from like a Bowmasters or something, and that would not be good. Then again, they just like Red Blast this. I mean, they had a chance to Red Blast my Baleful Strix though, right? I think they would have done that. Alright. Oh, they hit land number 3. Well, I think if they had Bombardiers, this would be like slam dunk what they would do. Static Prison. Well. Pretty good card. And Bowmasters. Right away. Did I forget to play a land last turn? Yeah, I think I did. Wow. I feel incredibly stupid. Edict you. Reanimate Voice. I mean, not like I could have done a whole lot more. We'll see if they can maintain their energy. I hope not. They have another Voice. Well, that card is a problem. Now I have Bolt. Bolt Snap Bolt doesn't seem too bad here. I just wish that I could take out the Voice of Victory. But yeah, I think playing at sorcery speed is where it's at. I think I have a better plan though. I could Bolt, Snap, Reanimate. And unless they have Fairy Macabre, I can expend the life total. Okay. Yeah, when your opponent plays really good creatures, this is often the truth. And I think I pushed the 1 damage here. They don't really want to block with the army. Yeah. So I get to push 2 damage. Busted. And we'll see if they can maintain that energy. I hope not. They're a little choked on mana. They definitely pay. Probably drew that for turn. They have a Johnny. Certainly concerning. I need a way to push damage. Maybe this could have been a reason to not attack, realizing I'm not in a position to be attacking. Thank God those warriors aren't cats. Tamiyo, not good enough. Fatal Push is good enough. The land is rough. But yeah, I think I just absolutely need to push a Johnny here. It's far too dangerous to let them untap with that. I guess I could Alpha Strike. I have the Strix on defense. Yeah. Gotta try and end this. Although, they'll be coming at Kaito as well. Go like this. They get to trade 1 for 1 here. I'm okay with that. Then I guess I'll just hold this in my hand in case they have like a Thoughtseize or something weird. Ooh, Esper Sentinel. I will be casting spells into that, let me tell you. And they're attacking me. They're ignoring Kaito. Yeah, they figure we gotta get this game over. Go like that. Sure. I do wish I still had my Voice of Victory, but I think pushing that damage was pretty important. I would love a non-creature spell here. That would let me go for lethal unless they top deck. Nice. They have a lot of creatures, so it's quite likely that this should work out for me. Yep. So, obviously there were a lot of ways that could have backfired, like if they Static Prison one of their amazing creatures I reanimated, and then they're just like, I don't pay any energy. They just get their creature back, so gotta think about that a little more. But I had to take some wild swings. I always have to take wild swings against this deck. It's really strong. On the draw, I think I do want this 4th Force of Will. And Source of Plowshares is confirmed, so I'm gonna trim Barragoyf. Murktide seems more acceptable for some reason. Like, it just seems more likely I'll be able to sneak it in and just get 1 really big hit in the air. Kind of what you are hoping for. But I also feel like it's a little less likely I can grind with Cling on the draw. I want From the Catacombs, of course, because it's like the only thing that can really even the score up. I don't even know if I want Consigned Memory, though. Like, hitting a Felia return trigger is like, sure, but I don't think it's really about that. When they have creatures coming at you, and you're looking at a card in your hand that doesn't destroy a creature, it's really what it's all about. I wish I had a sweeper. Even something like a Pyroclasm or Plague Engineer. Just haven't been able to afford a lot of fair tech. Because the meta is, well, it's Legacy. It's always been that way. That's not true. I used to play Plague Engineer in my main board even. Those were good times. Alright, give me Barragoyf, and then... Damn. Narset's good at card advantage. I really hope they're playing a lot of Esper Sentinels. That would help me quite a bit. I gotta make a decision. Give me the Cling. They boarded up to 61. Not sure if that was on purpose or what. And we've yet to see the dreaded Sand Scout. I feel like they're on like Esper Sentinel and Thalia instead of Sand Scout, which is very good news for us. Hopefully they're also not playing like Goblin Bombardment, but I'm never for a second gonna like bank on them not having the cards that are really, really good against me. Ground Seal and Goblin Bombardment. Two 2-drop enchantments. That Grixis Control really does not like... Boy, they're really keeping me in suspense for my opening hand. I just don't want a mulligan. I really don't want a mulligan. Wow. I doomed myself, didn't I? I'm gonna have to mulligan. Fortunately, so are they. I'm gonna keep in bottom Brainstorm. Just kind of try and interact with them favorably while I'm making land drops, and then eventually we'll resolve like from the catacombs and totally win, right? Esper Sentinel. Man, Bowmasters lines up so well against that. And Fatal Push does not, so yeah, that's what we'll do. It's kicking off that Bowmaster mirror though in a bad way. That Wasteland does not scare me though. Second Esper Sentinel. Dang, I could have a really big creature if I just let them draw cards, but I don't think it's wise. 2 Wastelands, Guide of Souls. I mean, we'll just shoot one and ambush the other. As much as I kind of want to turn it against them, it's irresponsible. I will keep the Bowmasters around though. That was a 3-for-1. Definitely probably want to Brainstorm soon. I think Bolt is a little more universal here. In case they play like a 3-drop or something weird. None of their creatures really exceed 3 toughness, I don't think. Ocelot Pride. I wonder if I should take a draw. No, it's too good if I find Kaito. Nimble Obstructionist. If I can keep them off red or black, seems pretty darn good. I should still Brainstorm though. Feels like they're likely to have, what, Swords to Plowshares? Hurts, but I'm going to shuffle that away. Slow and steady. Another Ocelot Pride. Well, maybe I won't. Kolaghan's Command. That's quite good. Just keep the removal flowing. A little choked on blue mana, but... Yeah, are they even going to want to wasteland me? I don't think I would mind it. Yeah, right away. They didn't even stop to think. And that's enough for them. Incredible. So we definitely got them stumbling a little bit, which is like something that will be put to the test to do. Oh my god. I can't fight for a trophy right now. I'm burnt. I'm gonna fight tomorrow. See you then. Okay, here is the trophy round. It's a Force Thoughtseize hand. And we're up against an Ancient Tomb deck. Oh, it's Red Prison again. Well, I do need to force that, because I'm not in a position to get any basics here yet. Alright. Let's grab a Swamp. Another Magus. No red mana. I kind of want to take Tursa, though. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I think I need to take the One Ring. I really want to take that Tursa and reanimate it. Filter my hand a little bit. If I don't take the ring, though, I'll just cast it. And that would not be good. It's pretty rare that you play an entire league and don't face a single blue deck. I feel like this is the first time that's happened to me in a very long time. I assume they're going to play Magus here, yeah. Alright. With Tursa to follow next turn. Definitely take a blue card here for Force. Bolt. It's not terrible. But yeah, I think I'm bolting Tursa. It's just unfortunate that they are going to get that loot effect. I want that loot effect. Yep. Yeah, they ditched their backup Blood Moon. And I'm not going to take that 3. I will bolt. Think Tursa can get over the line. I think I'm just discarding this Underground Sea. Had I discarded one more card, I could have gotten that cool effect. I've been playing Reanimate for a minute now. Shame, shame. Caught me. You caught me. Oh no, they're going right to Twitter. Oh no. They're not attacking anymore. I wonder if they're interested in like an influx of mana. Oh geez, that's good. They had a Fury. Now it makes sense. Force of Will. Oh, I forgot, I need to like actually pay the mana to do this stuff. But I have a real shot next turn, provided I have to force. I mean, maybe I won't have to. Alright, we're up. My opponent and I are joking around, but I can't let my guard down. I do want to take this home. Oh, it is, you may play that card this turn. So that's pretty good. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have a Tursa next time, but I don't know, maybe. So we face this in round 2. On the draw, I don't think the black 1-drops are acceptable unless it's Fatal Push or Reanimate, because their creatures are super good. We want Reanimate, and Fatal Push, their creatures are super good, so we also want Fatal Push. And then I set it out in Narset. I seem to remember setting out Tyrant Scorn too. Oh yeah, to bring in Price of Progress. And then I do like From the Catacombs in this matchup. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to cast it. Some days, like, I'll side it in without even thinking twice. Today, I am scared to side it in for some reason. It's so crazy how subjective this Grixis Control deck is. I play it so differently on a day-to-day basis. It just, like, it really blows my mind. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna submit today. And I'm getting pretty strong jam vibes from my opponent, so I think I'd be prioritizing a hand that has either basics or Force of Will, or even Lorien Revealed, or both, and Barragoyf. Seems very good. Look at this hand. Basic Swamp, Basic Island practically, Barragoyf, maybe Force of Will. But maybe I don't even need blue mana. I want to see the mulligan here, which is not uncommon for Red Prison to do, because they gotta come out fast. If they just go tap lane go, they're giving up a lot. Well, I kept 7. See if we can keep up. There's a Spirit Guide under there. Chalice on 1. I'm going to be extremely selective in what I fight over here. A little punished so far. But Ancient Tomb, Price of Progress, like, that almost seems like a thing on its own. Like, we're hoping they follow up with Blood Moon, and then, like, Trinisphere. Well, maybe not Trinisphere, but yeah, we just want to see, like, all the prison pieces, basically. I'm going to Surveil. If there's nothing, like, there's just Strix coming up. So that would mean, I guess, I just want the game to go longer and for them to make land drops. Yeah, I'll force. And I do want them... Oh, they don't make a land drop. That's disappointing. I do want them to play a Blood Moon, so I'm going to play this Badlands out. Make it seem like I just really don't have anything. The Chalice is doing work so far. I'd also prefer to get Barragoyf out of Fury range, which is possible if they destroy my Baleful Strix. Which I'm thinking they're going to do to stop Kaito. Yep. Alright, really want to hit Force of Will. All right, see if this works. City of Traders. The One Ring. That'll wear down their life total if they don't just straight up throw it at Baragoyf. Mostly just hoping to draw something I can do next turn. Bowmasters. I'm at 14. Oh, they have Fury. Damn, that's good. They're out of cards, but I mean, like, I also don't have my Baragoyf anymore, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I'll play it. Tap that down. Sometimes they'll bring in Pyroblast, but, you know, obviously they're not doing that with a Chalice on 1 around. Trinisphere. Don't mind seeing that. Bolt. Let's attack. I want to draw a card. Shoot. Force Will or Bowmasters? That's hard. I think it's Bowmasters. It's got to be, right? I think it's Force. I think it's Force, because with Trinisphere, they're only casting, what, 1 spell, 2 tops, and then I force that. Tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. I don't think I would have played that Trinisphere if I were them. Alright, looks like price is still good for 4 damage. What happens if they... I don't think I forced that though. Because what if they play Bombardiers? Well, I think they probably would have done that first, right? So they can throw the Fury, unless this is bait. It feels like bait. Well, if they cast another spell, I could just cast Price in response, so... I guess I should have forced. Alright, we got there. God, these decks are just like scary. Especially when your opponent is a little unpredictable, but hey, look at that. I'm gonna miss this format. Well, look at us. Tied for 2nd place. Who knows what's gonna happen when Monday rolls around. I sure as heck don't. But the community rumbling seems to be that there will be some action taken on Oops or Reanimator. I mean, whatever happens, you know, we'll just be playing the best version of this deck that we can muster up, whatever cards seem most appropriate. And I did love Murktide Regent this league. I think protecting it and getting over the line against Eldrazi was super sweet. I thought Tyrant Scorn, whenever it showed up, was very malleable as well. But I just don't know if it's good enough. I know I talk a lot about how if you have too much 2-mana 1-for-1 removal, the power level of your deck is pretty significantly impacted. That's why you don't see me playing amazing removal spells like Molten Collapse and stuff, because I have my 2 Sheoldred's Edict, and that's what I'm comfortable with for my deck's power level. But yeah, I threw in Tyrant Scorn for an experiment this round, and it was pretty darn good, huh? Of course it was. There's no wrong way to build this deck. I mean, there's no right way to build this deck. I think there are some wrong ways, but not that many. I probably sound crazy. I'm just relieved we were able to pull that trophy off because, like I said, I'm not feeling very aggressive or sharp right now, but I got to edit this video and get it out. And yeah, super fun. The deck is black to get the job done, blue to make sure it's done right, and red to get it done faster. Grixis Control. Okay. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon if you would like to support the channel and get more content. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Woohoo!